How is everybody? We're going to be adding up some numbers. 1 plus 2 equals 2. How much? 1 plus 2 is like 34 plus 58 equals 92. You would say it equals to 3, but if we did it in art form, it'd equal to this. It inverts to itself and it creates a slanted 8. You can also say if we mirrored it, number 3, we can either create the 3 this way with a 1 coming through it equaling to C8, or we complete the 3 as it is and it looks like 38. 3 plus 8. So I didn't make enough room here, but I will show you that 3 plus 8, 3, 56, 8, 49. So we go 3 plus 8. Well, 1 plus 3, sorry, is 34 plus 56, equaling to a total of 90. At the same time, this will equal to 7 and 4. When that equals to 7 and 4, we're going to get out this and this. And we're going to see that number 2 is missing 7. And we flip it over. Number 5 is missing 4. 7 and 4, energy, Jesus, time on the cross. Number 1 and 4, 1 and 4, depending on how you create the artwork. There's many ways to do it. 4 is a difficult number for me. I didn't practice it enough. But here is 1 and 4, where 1 and 4 is what is the upside down 7 and 1. 1 just slips right in between it, so they become the same thing. So what is naturally 5 and naturally 8, which is second silver? Also, it is 1222. The reason for that is the multiplication of, to create, I'm just trying to, 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 will create 4 and 4, 8. And 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, right? The 8 total. And 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 is what is going to create what is the 5 total. When you create it with the 5, the 1 and the 5, you end up with 96. You end up with a percentage of rotation. 51 is Mars, 14 is DNA in the sun, 13 is within the moon. The 3 and 2 female is the ram. The ram goes to the top of the mountain, climbing up the rocks. I have to understand the story the way it is. And the invert to 1 and 2 is 5 and 6. Is 5 and 6, according to the dice. Which is also going to tell me that there's 3 void and 4 void, 3 and 4. The house of DC inside 11, Yo 11, the game of craps. And 78, the gateway, to where 1 through 12 added. When you add 1 through 12, it equals to 78. When you add 1 through 13, note the queen and the king, the 13th card and the 12th card, depending on the game you play, will equal to 91, the spirit. This will equal to 6. This will equal to 1, the inverted cube coming here through the male and the female, the king and the queen. When you have 1 and 6, you now get 86. So now you get the house, the divided house. If you have 1 and 8, you now get 88, which is the 7th gate, the 1 spirit in 8. The 7th gate is that through us. And 1 and 9 equals to what is 98, the high birth, the birth on earth inside the house, because when you flip it upside down, it becomes 86. When you put 3 and 2 together, you end up with the A sign inverted, or the backward 6, or the upside down 9. When you create 4 and 2, depending on how we're going to do this, I end up with the upside down 9 and 8. Over here, flip it up, 6 and 8. It's almost like 1 and 9. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, is what creates the dividing gate of the cat. 5 and 9 is that gate. When you go to 5 and 9, you look at it this way. Here's your 9, 4 and 5 missing, and here's your 5. 7 and 6 missing. 7 and 2, 9, 6, and 3. That's Earth and Mars. When you create the 5 and 2, you now create the 8. When you create the 6 and 2, you now create the 8. When you create the 7 and 2, I have to better understand what that design means. I got 2 corners over here, right? You see this corner here? That hourglass mode, the same hourglass mode you find in the Star of David. That when you create this Star of David, what happens on this, on this angle and this angle, you get the hourglass that comes in like the Budweiser beer. Now we're going to go to 2 and 8 is going to end up to be just 8. And when you got 2 and 9, right, you're going to end up to have 8. Unlike, 5 and 2 come together, right. Now we're going to get into what is 3 and 4. I like to skip that. Which way should I be designing the 4? Should I create my 3? I'm just making it a little bit bigger because I have to, and I have to understand what's going on inside of this image. We can see a T, we can see the Z showed up inside of here, we can see a crossover in the 7 showing up. Also the 1 shows up in a lower level house. When you put the 5 with the 3, right, when we put the 5 with the 3, let me get a little bit of that away. Here's the 5 and here's the 3. We end up with a 9. When we put 6 and 3, we end up with an 8. 5 and 6, 11. Here comes the student. Although this is 9 as a total, and the total of 9, 3 plus 6 is 9, 3 plus 4, 3 plus 7. Each one of these will create a numeric value. 3 plus 9 equals to 78. 3 plus did I get that right? 78. Let me think of it. Yes, it equals to 12, right? And if you add 1 through 12, it equals to 78. There's multiple answers for this. Also, 3 equals to 56, and 9 equals to 42, which equals to 98. It's Angel for 39 and Saturn for 93. It's also the value of 10, and it creates what is high and inside the house, divided by the 9 lives of the cat in creation of the student of Earth and Mars. The reason for that is it's 11, and when you flip that 11 over, you end up with 1 and 2 creation craps. 3 and 8 come together, will create an 8. 3 and 7 comes together, and you get another one of those, I can't really tell you what it is. Right now, you have the X in between 2 areas. I'll have to think about it. When 3 and 9 come together, right, you end up with the same 9. When 4 and 5 come together, let me see if I can do it this way. And what happens, you notice that some, I'm going to have to go a little bit deeper with this, right? So I created another level. Can I have made it smaller by doing this? The 4 never really looks like that, so I don't like to design it like that. And then 4 and 6, I'm going to do it a little bit larger, right, the way I know it, and then I'm going to follow it all the way here, and then the 6 can be created this way. The 4 and 7 upside down, when you create the 4 and the 7, it is the 1, 4, 7, and it is the 3 times 1 is 3, 3 by 4 is 12, 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 by 7 is 21, 2 and 1 is 3, 7 months of 31 days, 4 months of 30 days, and 1 month of 28, unless 30, 60, 70, 80, 89, plus 1 in the leap year. This happens 3 times, this happens 1, this becomes 8. 9 and 8 is 17, 1 and 7 is 8, and 9 and 8 will create its own invert to the gateway. 72 and 17, 1 and 7 come together, creating what is 35. So when we put the 4 and 8, it becomes etc., etc. We end up with another concoction. When we put 5 with 6 together, although that equals to 11, the word 11 is 63. and that will create the element in the house of Beit inside the sun, and will create 18 REICHE and create 09I, the only vowels that have 2 to it, and it fits in this position. There are 9 and 1 here, or the 9th one is here. It's 1 or 9. So when you create this, you end up with 8. When you do the 5, the same thing, you end up with a sideways 8. When you create this, 5 and 8, you end up with 8. 5 and 9, you end up with 9. 6 and 7, you end up with another concoction of that, a sideways 8 in one closed area. It could be the 9 on an angle. It could be discussed. We could be taking this apart and only using parts of it. 6 and 8 will create 8. 6 and 9 will create 8. And then you have 7 and 8, which will create the divided 99 or 96 within inside of each other. See the 9, depending if we use walls or not, depending if we have to keep all the sticks when putting them together. When we take the 9 out, again, we create this element over here, and then 9 and 8 equals to 8. So we can go through what is countable and what is not countable. And then after that, 5 plus 6 equals to 11. 5 and 7 is 12. 5 and 8 is 13. Okay, which equals to 1 plus 3 equals to 4. So we're going to take 5 and 8, 13, and we're going to bring this to 4. We're going to take 5 and 7, 12, which is the moon, right? And this one's going to equal to 3. So everything gets shifted over by us better understanding. Well, the video is long enough. I want to thank you for watching. There's much, much more to do. This all has to be set up into a program so it can spit out more numbers and more understanding, because every single number is a word. And I like to use it in French and English. If you want to see this, well, that's not what you're looking at. The value of each of the words. 3 and 4 is 7. 5 and 8 is 13. 1 and 3 is 4. 5 and 6 is 11. 1 and 1 is 2. So 1 through 9, there's only 2 odd numbers of 77, which is 6 and 1. And then when you do it in French, you have 0, which values at 1. You have 9, which values at 1. 8 is at 4. So 8 and 8 in both become 4. Number 7 and number 7 become 7 and 6. Number 6 and 6 stay the same. 5 is 7, 5 is 6, 4 is 6, and 4 is 3. So they're all telling us different stories. RAPHAEL 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching this video.